So there's all of the discontinued errors, and you have to be a film buff and writing it down to even notice this. And the overall moral here then is that your perception of reality is a lot more sparse, a lot more limited than you might think it is. So, this is where we were at the end of the last class. We are talking about the different sorts of memories. Sensory memory, which is the sort of fraction for a second of sensory residues of what you are hearing and what you are seeing. Working memory, short-term memory, and then long-term memory. And we talked last class about how things get into sensory memory, into working memory, the role of attention, and in fact, the change blindness studies are actually just studies of how something gets from your sense to your consciousness, and what does and what doesn't. Now I want to move to the distinction between working memory, short-term memory, and long-term memory. Now the obvious distinction is actually just in fact in storage differences. So, long-term memory or LTM has a huge storage capacity. This is your memory like the hard drive of your computer. This is the memory you walk around with. It includes all the words in English. Just for example, 16 to 18,000 words. It includes everybody you have ever met. Languages, faces, storage, locations. Nursery rhythms, songs, TV programs. Nobody knows the storage. It is not true that you remember everything that has ever happened to you. There's no reason to believe that this is true. At the same time, you have a huge amount stored in your brain in long-term storage. And nobody actually. It has to be limited because it's a finite, limited brain. But nobody knows how big it is. Nobody knows how many you carry around in your mind, but it is a lot. Compare this to working memory. The short-term memory, which is actually very limited. Your memory of what you now own it, where you could hold in consciousness right now, is quite limited. Here is an exercise. Do not write these things down, and I want you to remember. I'm just gonna give you a few numbers. 14, 59, 11, 109. 43, 58, 98, 47.